Hello, welcome to Soccer Yanks, a soccer news day podcast. I'm Dave.
And I am Dan, and we are here to bring you the beautiful game from the American perspective.
What?
That was very wrestling. That was very WWE, right? Brother.
Oh, yeah. Coming in from the squared circle from the swamps of Louisiana.
We've got Dave back. We've missed him. 2 weeks in a row, 2 podcasts in a row.
Dug out of the snow. I was buried under an avalanche. I'm back though. I'm here.
Back just in time. Let's talk. We'll talk Premier League first.
I wish I was under the rock.
Let's talk Premier League first. Let's take a look at the top of that table.
Let's take a look at the board.
Let's take a look at the board.
Sound effects.
Yeah. No, we don't have a soundboard. We just got the guy from Police Academy.
Chelsea is in first place, 60 points. Arsenal, second, 59 points. Man City with 57. Liverpool.
And a game in hand.
A game in hand.
City has a game in hand, so they could potentially be even with Chelsea right now. Pool, 56. Then Tottenham 50, United, Everton, both at 45, but Everton's got a game in hand. Let's just call it right there, because then the next one is Newcastle at 40. Top 7. It looks like the top 3 are going to go down to the last week. I can't, subjective or not, I can't see these 3 teams falling out of those top 3 spots in the last 11 weeks.
Barring injury, no, absolutely not.
Right, barring injury. And Arsenal has a little bit of a tough March, but they've got a very easy April and May. So, we'll see.
But United's schedule gets easier.
Well, they got a lot of room. They got a lot of room to make up.
It lightens up. But the one thing that I think United have against them is they're not drowning in cup things.
Right. So that's Chelsea's in Champions League and the Premier League. Arsenal's in
and the FA, right?
No, Chelsea got knocked out by City.
That's right.
Arsenal is in the FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League. City is playing in the Capital One Cup this weekend, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup. They're still up for the quad.
Dang.
Liverpool has nothing to focus on but the league, which is very dangerous, being in 4th. Tottenham is in Europa. I think they lost to some team that I can't even pronounce. It's got like only one vowel in the name. It's like a bunch of consonants and a vowel. No, it's not. It was like DNRBBIT or something. I don't know. I don't know the team, and no disrespect to this team that I don't know. But they beat Tottenham, so so I think Tottenham loses again or doesn't come back from this. They're out of Europa with only the focus on the Premier League. United, in a few weeks, will probably only have the Premier League to worry about.
Don't go that way. It's just that was a really hard crowd to play in.
We will get there.
Yeah,
I'll let you say your piece about Olympiacos.
We'll get there.
Everton has a game in hand, even with United. I think Everton is the dark horse to take the 4th spot. I'm not saying that they're gonna. I'm not saying that Tottenham, United, or Everton are definitely going to dislodge Liverpool from that 4th spot. But I think if there is a team there that could do it, I think it's Everton. I think one, there is a rivalry to finish above Liverpool, right? You have that derby, and 2, I feel like Martinez closes the seasons out very, very strong, and Everton closes out seasons very strong historically. I'm not sure if that's a Moyes thing.
With Moyes,
okay, but Martinez, how many times has he made figured out a way for Wigan to stay up? I mean, it didn't happen his last season. But there's been plenty of seasons where they just were very, very dangerous the last 2 months of the year. I think he can if he could get that inspiration into that team, they definitely have the talent to do it.
Yeah, but if you're going off the talent base to bring the manager up, if Moyes is making the jump from Everton to United, that's got to be greater than Martinez's jump from Wigan to Everton. If we're basing it on that and off the same formula, if they both finish strong, the characters.
Okay, but yes.
On paper.
Everton's been better than United this season overall.
They've been well in the last month and a half.
They started very strong. Started very, very strong. They look very dangerous.
We had a week. What are you going to do?
I think there is the the difference between these two teams right now, there's a lot of differences. But the two, I think Everton is having a psychological issue with closing out games. For example, they lost to Chelsea in the 93rd minute on a Howard own goal.
That was
bad. They basically fell asleep at the end of that game. And I think that's happening enough times where they're letting games get away from them. They're not mentally strong enough. On the other side of that, the other psychological issue is United has zero confidence. I don't understand.
It's a donut. There's nothing in the middle.
It's kind of like all their heads.
Not really. Yeah. There's actually a donut with a big bite out of it. And the bite is at the end where the two center backs would be.
Oh, I thought that was where Rooney was at.
No. Rooney's everywhere.
Wait, Rooney took a bite out of
the hole. He's running in circles making the hole.
Yeah, the midfield is in trouble. There's something...
They would be awesome. If he had the same dedication and drive on the attacking half as opposed to playing box to box like he's had to, I think they would have the advantage and the stroke of luck in those games.
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say that's false. But this is not, the fact of the matter is, this is not a new problem. They've just been able to manage this problem. It's like being a functioning alcoholic. They've been doing it for a lot of years. But it's just gotten to the point they can't go to work anymore. Everyone's caught on. Oh wait, this guy's drunk. United go home drunk again.
They haven't filled the holes that they've needed to.
Yes, exactly.
The Rio Ferdinand is 35 now, right? Somewhere around there.
Something like that.
He looks like he's 45. He was completely unaffected, and nobody moved their feet.
If we're off the air right now, I'm going to pull a Mourinho. He might be 38.
It was just a depressing thing to watch yesterday.
Well, all right. So I gave you my little thoughts on who might be able to dislodge, who might be able to finish in that top four. As far, I didn't say actually 1, 2, and 3. I think Arsenal's gonna finish very strong. If March is miserable for them, if they take too many draws, if they take a key loss here or there, I'm not sure they'll be able to overcome that. But I don't see Chelsea staying at the top. I think it's going to be either City or Arsenal to win this. I don't know. I don't buy this Chelsea team. I don't buy into what Mourinho is doing. I feel like this kind of the tactics that he employs a lot of
bussing.
Well, yes and no. I mean, he has been direct at times, but the scrutiny, the media scrutiny, I think eventually that unwinds itself. It always does. It always seems to, and usually it takes a few seasons, but I feel like it's a pattern that's speeding up each time.
So too many strings, he's turned into a knot.
Like the first time at Chelsea, it took like 4 seasons. Then Inter took 3 seasons. Then Madrid 2 seasons. People are seeing the pattern, and it's unwinding itself much sooner than it was in the past, where he could keep the game going a little bit longer. I just don't buy. I don't believe in this Chelsea team yet. I don't think that they have it yet. So it's going to be, like City, Arsenal, Chelsea. I'm going to say Everton. 3-month out prediction.
Oh yeah, no, it's United.
It's United. You have to.
Absolutely.
All right, number 1, 2, 3 then.
For City, Arsenal, Chelsea, probably.
Same as me. So you're kind of agree with...
City, Arsenal, United. No, City, Chelsea, United, Arsenal. Fuck you, Dan.
Awesome. Okay, it's now etched.
It's still the banter zone.
It's now etched on the stone walls of the internet.
It's forever now.
Oh man! All right, let's switch gears here. The most unproductive Tuesdays and Wednesdays of the year.
That's for sure.
In Champions League in America, because the games are on the East Coast and the West Coast during business hours. So
I couldn't imagine living on West Coast watching soccer. How do they do it?
You can at least go to lunch and watch an hour of the match of the Champions League match.
Salad. Something light?
Something light, I guess.
Because it's still early. It's like 11.
No. Yeah, 11:45. 11:45, you dip out. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go get some lunch. You dip out, take a little bit longer, and there's some traffic. You know, LA. There's always traffic in LA. You know. Then you have a couple of beers. You call in the office. I'm not gonna make it back. I got sick. You know?
I'm sold. Let's move. I'm moving.
Moving. Yeah, but you know what the reverse is? That is 7:45 kickoff here, 4:45 kickoff there. Yeah, that's
brutal.
That's brutal. All right, let's get right into it.
Moving on.
Yesterday. Let's talk about the early match yesterday. It was played early because it was in Mother Russia.
Zenit.
Dortmund opened up their account real early. I think they got 2 goals in the first.
Fantastic.
First few minutes, right?
So exciting.
First 7 minutes, I think they opened.
Mkhitaryan-Royce combination was
Mkhitaryan.
The Armenian axe, as they call it.
Is that what they call him?
That's what I call him.
He looks like a toothpick.
He's
like the result of the Armenian axe.
I say axe because he cuts through the defense with such force.
Maybe he's the Armenian hot butter knife.
All right. I'll be doing the sports headlines from now on.
All right, Ray Hudson over here. So Zenit kind of tried to make this a match towards the end.
Yes.
But 4-2, you let up 4 away goals. Now they got to travel to Dortmund, and they got to recover. They got to cover a lot of ground. They got to win. If they can win, they got to win by 3 goals. They got to win by 3 goals and that's just to avoid the away goal rule. If they win by 2, the away goal rule kicks in. Dortmund takes it.
I think Dortmund's taking this. Going back to the Signal Iduna.
Now Dortmund has not been. They've been on a little bit of a. They've been teetering in the league.
Well, they have a bad injury bug right now.
Yes. So this was a good.
Hummels is out. Bender, Getungen. Subotic, I think.
Great mustache.
Fantastic.
Yes, no, they've had a lot of injuries. This is probably a nice confidence booster.
Oh yeah.
Do you think they're focusing on? Do you think they're putting all their effort now into maybe the Champions League? Bundesliga's out of reach.
Well, as long as they keep their, as long as they can still maintain their position in Germany, I don't think they're gonna put all their eggs in the Champions League basket. That's very. I don't think they would do that.
That's very anti-Klopp.
Yeah,
Anti-Klopp-optic.
They'll play it at all fronts, I think.
All right. The other match yesterday, the other white meat. Manchester United traveled to Greece to face, I think, the league leaders over there, Olympiacos.
Yes.
I believe they've won 27 out of 25, something like that, or 27 out of 29. I don't know. They're kicking some serious butt.
Standard.
Not always, but lately it seems that Olympiacos has been running away. There's a lot of issues in Greece right now. So, but
the atmosphere. What did
you think of this? You take the mic. You got this. You let me know.
Oh yeah, no, it was. You could tell right from the beginning there was nothing much going on. There was no confidence, no real intent. It didn't seem like there was a game plan at all. They were floundering.
How do you feel about
the pitch? Was terrible.
They
were sliding everywhere. Apparently, only Manchester was. So I don't know what that means.
They didn't bring the right cleat.
They
sure
drugged them.
They drugged them.
Yeah, they put lidocaine in their ankles. I don't know.
No. What do you think about Moyes not bringing Januzaj?
The ref calling was a bit, I think, biased as well.
Well, I mean, I think we've spoken about this. The crowd can affect the official. It's a fact of life. That's what's home field advantage.
Yeah.
I do not believe that the ref was
it wasn't.
I don't think the ref had a major impact on the outcome of this match.
But there were a lot of chippy pull downs and
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
There was some blatant. Rooney looked like he was getting the crap. Like they were trying to get underneath his.
I was going to say that Rooney also though was very. I mean, I know it's when you get beat up on all day, you start to get mad. He was pretty vicious towards the end of that match too, though.
He was running like mad the entire time. At that point, I'm sure he was gassed.
You're right.
He definitely earned his whatever criticism he was getting.
I doubt he earned his money.
You know what? For what? If unless he scored 3 goals for what he did, and if there was 11 of them out there, absolutely. But he was literally the only one try. You could tell he was the only one with intent. And then when Kagawa came on, why he wasn't there from the beginning again?
All right, that's what I was gonna.
We do not have a creative midfielder. At least, yeah, exactly. In the Champions League, we don't have Mate. He's cup tied.
Right.
Kagawa is the only option to let Rooney run forward, and he can mix in and out.
If you're David Moyes, I have a couple of points. If you were David Moyes, why would you bring Januzaj? I mean, I understand he's a young guy, and I understand you don't want to burn out a young man, but at the same time, he's going to give you. I think he's going to give you much more than Ashley Young.
You watch his gameplay, the confidence that you can tell an 18-year-old has to have to be able to do the things that he does to those kinds of right and left backs. You would only be putting gasoline on that fire by saying, "Come on, let's play Champions League. I don't care if you're 18, you got it. Come on." And that would be more than enough. That would be like you'd have lightning coming out of his cleats.
Right. I mean, I relate to things that I know very well. I feel like with Yaya Sanogo started against Bayern. I think that for him personally, his confidence just went through the roof.
Like this is it.
Exactly. So I think I agree with you that this was a perfect. It's a team that Januzaj could definitely match up against.
That's what happened in '93 in Turkey with Giggs, with Neville, with Beckham when they went to hell. SAF said, "Yeah, see this? It's all you. You can do it.
Go out there and do it." Right. Now, so here's my point.
I mean, they didn't, but
right.
Still
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you have to at least give him a chance.
And then after that,
now Kagawa. When I saw the man playing, I know it was towards the end of the game, and maybe a little desperation, but he looked. At least there was a spark. At least it looked like, oh wow, is this either he's fighting for his job, or
him and Rooney together are very, very good. They have a synergy.
You know, there's just a lot of things like Carrick
back pass. Carrick just turns around and passes back. That's
not even that. The one on the Campbell goal. I think on the Joel Campbell goal.
It was a missed trap or something.
He barely tried. And then the other thing is like, you know, Robin Van Persie. He's getting a little venomous here. This is not when players start complaining about other players. That's a bad sign for the locker room.
Yeah.
I mean, what do your take on that?
You didn't hear anything else about it since. I think it's going to be taken care of internally.
He's going to be sold in the summer to Juventus.
You think?
No, I don't know. He makes a lot of money.
You think Royce comes in?
I don't know. I don't even want to speculate on that.
With Klopp?
With Klopp? No, there's only one team that Klopp will go to in Premier League.
Yeah?
He's taking over from Wenger in 2 years. Their contracts suddenly have coincided. Wenger's going to sign a 3-year extension to match up with Klopp, I believe. Weird, man.
I got my tinfoil. Hold on.
Yeah. No, let's not speculate on the summer move.
Sorry.
But RVP.
I couldn't help it. That's all I'm thinking about.
Well, I opened the door for you. I said he was leaving.
Yeah.
But that can't be a good sign. That can't be a good sign. You can't be happy with him saying the other players are getting in my way. Were they in their way when you shot the ball over the crossbar on a goal that you have scored 99 times out of 100? You know.
Yeah, it was on your right foot, but you had about 3 seconds on that right foot.
RVP has a good right foot. He scored a lot of goals on that right foot.
Yeah, I don't know if it was mistranslated though. I didn't read the article. Maybe it was something. Maybe.
Wait. All right. So you don't understand cunt?
No. Maybe it's something along the lines of there's a lot of positions, something like that. I don't know. I didn't read the article. I only hear the speculation.
I know. I like to build it up too because I don't even care for the man. So anytime he says something venomous, I actually want to put the blinders on. I'm like, no, I don't want to know the truth. No.
Pitchfork.
Okay, give me a little They return home to Old Trafford.
I am not writing off.
It's 2-0
Champions
is
League next year.
All right.
I'm not writing it off. Either route.
I'm not even talking. Well, you talk about winning it still.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess you got to have you. If there is a team that historically you can believe in pulling off some sort of nonsense that they don't deserve to do, it would be United.
Oh yeah, all those fourth place finishes Arsenal pulled out of their asses all those years.
Those were they deserved? Fourth places?
I was just trying to go parallels, but
no. Let's just talk about Champions League. They go back home. I know 2-0 is not unsurmountable.
No.
Do you think Olympiacos gets sucked into the environment at Old Trafford?
I think it's a whole new, and it's not Greece. It's a different climate. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wet. It's going to be loud, just like it was, but it's going to be in Manchester, in their house. And I think there's a lot of people who I think there are professionals on that team. They're still professionals. Maybe they have this image in the public of being like whiny rich babies, but they're still professionals and they have careers that they want to prolong, and they don't want to embarrass their manager like they did because they embarrassed him. They let him out to dry. He's the scapegoat on this whole thing right now.
Moyes. Perhaps yes.
that whole performance. I mean, Smalling played like he had buttered laces. You know, everything was coming off of everything. Know what I'm saying?
I never heard that one before, but I get it.
I'm trying to make up Ray Hudson.
Water off a duck's back kind
exactly.
of thing.
So I think they're still going to be on the European stage. All the papers, all the eyes are going to be on them. And I think this is going to be their last chance. And it's ridiculous to say that Olympiacos is Manchester United's last chance, but they have to crush Olympiacos.
You know what? When we saw the draw for the Champions League, I said United got the best draw that they could possibly get because of the teams that they were up against. The potential to see Olympiacos was probably one of the weaker squads. Mm-hmm. But then in the reverse, Olympiacos lucked out because of all the squads they could have got. They got the one that's been suffering. You know, right. So
and then that's the other thing. What else does Olympiacos have to put all their eggs into?
Well, yeah, this is it.
In Greece, they're playing. You know, they're going to lock it up, but still, they want that money, especially in Greece. I'm sure they need that money.
Yes. Next couple weeks of Champions League, it's going to be unnerving. Let's go on today. The superstars from Madrid.
Madrid game. I felt like I had to go to church and confess my sins. It was just the dirtiest, filthiest soccer I've ever seen. Should have been on Spice Network.
It's because of your Ronnie love.
I know.
It was. They were sick.
Bale's fighting through three guys and then
bestiality.
Finishing on the outside of the foot, across, footing it in. The step overs from Ronaldo is going to go down in history. That will be on every YouTube video for the rest of his life.
I mean,
and the finish. The finish was
incredible too. It's one thing to have 4 step overs and break the guy's ankles. It's another thing to do it and then put in a ridiculous angle shot.
Yeah, not a roof, not like just a power shot, but a finish curved across the face of the goal. It's right in front of the goalie's, right across the goalie's waist.
Oh, so we didn't even mention this. They beat Schalke 6-1. Was it
6-1?
6-1.
Oh wait, and the assist he had.
Oh, the flick to Benzema.
The back, it was probably off the last millimeter on the toe stud, but he's got whatever.
He got something on it.
Oh,
yeah. Two from Ronaldo, 2 from Bale, 2 from Benzema,
and then the hammer from Huntelaar at the end for the thank you for the fans.
Thank you for the fans. He hit
everyone was still there.
Really?
In the crowd, and you saw them. They all stood up and looked. I mean, you had to take a bow. Everybody was like, wow.
Well, it was a monster shot, man. Monster shot.
Just a hammer. It was that should have been, again, it seems like every game they pick the broadcast, the opposite. Whatever the one I can't get is always the superstar, like,
always
fireworks show. You know what? I'm going to go watch it again after this. That was awesome.
I think it's pretty safe Real Madrid's going to advance.
I think they might. They're still in the Del Rey too, right? Copa del Rey. They
have an El Clasico final coming up, and I'm not sure the date, but they're playing Barcelona in the final.
They play twice within a week and a half, I think, at the end of March.
They always do. It always ends up happening that way.
I have BN now. It's great.
You get to watch it
in
finally?
HD.
In HD. So I think we're pretty confident here with Real Madrid advancing.
Yeah, and Munich, that game. What do you think about the Munich game? I never got to talk to you about it.
I mean, we could go back in time a little bit. Now, I still feel that the red card was extremely harsh.
Yeah.
I understand the referee. It was the rule.
But yeah, now you got Fabianski in the next game because Szczesny's out, right?
Fabianski's been fabulous, and he's looking to move this summer. So
good for him. He's got some fire for him.
And Wenger even said he's like, I had no worries about Fabianski playing. He's like, I believe in him.
Yeah, but he had to play 10 men down against it's hard enough 11.
I think with 11 men, Arsenal were doing an outstanding job. With 10 men, I think they put in an effort that most teams would not be able to put in to hold them off.
Yeah.
I mean,
they still made it a game.
The last goal was really just they really were just naive because they went up for a free kick and they had committed Koscielny up there because I guess they're still trying to get the tie, and it just on the counter. Koscielny was out of position. Flamini was playing a center back. Flamini was just giving instructions to Jack Wilshere to press Cruz, and Mueller came in behind them. He didn't see this. It's a mistake of a guy doesn't play center back.
You know what I think the most exciting for me watching this game is not really a fan of either. I'm a fan of German national soccer, so what's good for Bayern is usually
typically good for Germany. Yeah,
so exciting going into the World Cup, seeing this kind of chemistry, this style of play from. They have such a stereotypically robotic. There's flair to these players.
I mean, okay, I agree with you.
And a work.
I agree with you, and I agree that they worked over Arsenal. It was all one way direction. But, I mean, I didn't feel like they were invincible. I felt that if Arsenal had 11 men, this game would be a totally different story.
No, I didn't say that they were invincible. I meant going into Brazil. As German soccer going into Brazil, how they're going to go into the flair, the Samba Kings,
mm-hmm.
and they're going to have their own flavor now. Which to me, I always thought they were watching them in the past. They were very stagnant.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. They've created a bit of personality. It's not so robotic. I get it now. I understand what you're saying.
It's not a
Yeah, but that's what though. I don't think that's going to translate to Germany. That's Pep Guardiola, I believe.
Yeah, but you don't think that mentality is going to go into the players' minds?
You still have to. You have Lowe
or Yogi Lowe. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you still have. He has to be convinced. I'm not saying that he didn't have something to say about him being appointed, Pep being appointed at Bayern Munich, because I feel like they're all. Honestly, I kind of feel like all of Bundesliga, the national team, they're all in cahoots. They're all working together to all right, we have this championship.
Oh, absolutely.
We have this championship
it's a farm system.
And we want to be competitive, but because there's a certain German pride, they're like, but let's take a step back and look at the big picture,
the German system.
Let's look at what we can do as a whole, So I think perhaps Lowe will adapt some of it, but he's not Pep Guardiola. I don't think you're going to see the same. I don't think you're going to see the same translation.
Yeah, but that's what I think. The difference is because it's not all Bayern Munich is going to be on the national team.
No,
Ozil's going to be on there.
Well, there's probably Podolski, Manchester Soccer, and Ozil,
maybe even Gnabry. And those players specifically, minus Mertesacker because he can't join in a counterattack, but those players are integral to counterattacking football, and that's the style that Yogi Lowe implements when he plays. So I think it's going to be a hybrid of the two. At least I'm hoping. With Phil Lahm, all the
yeah, but is Lahm for Germany? Doesn't he play? He doesn't play as a defensive midfielder.
No, he plays left back or right.
Left back.
But he goes up. He's a modern.
Right, he's a modern fullback.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, one more match today. Galatasaray, Chelsea, Didier Drogba, Jose Mourinho love fest. They were in the hotel room together before the match.
I'm coming home.
Something like that, yes.
I'm not in Shanghai
And Schneider.
anymore.
There's a three-way in the hotel room before. They love each other so much. But it didn't translate on the field because Galatasaray was going at him.
It was a rough game.
It was a rough game. Turkey's not an easy place to go into.
Going into hell's not fun.
No, and Galatasaray was physical. I mean, I would say it was a story of two halves. I think Chelsea owned the first half.
Still no real striker, though, for Chelsea.
Well, Torres scored a goal.
Yeah, but he played more like a winger, though.
He did. He was out wide.
Right
He was
wing.
out wide.
Right wing the whole time. But that set piece goal was beautiful. It just curled right onto him.
Yep.
It was from Felipe Melo, no? Crossed it?
I'm not sure. I think so. Yes, I think it was Melo. It was a tale of two halves. I think first half Chelsea was on the front foot, and I think the second half Galatasaray really had the belief to really try to pull something off. And I noticed in the second half it became Chelsea kind of fell more into that deeper into that counterattack. Like you started to see Willian and Hazard almost be playing directly in front of the back four. Intentionally, because if they could break up the play to develop the play deep and counter, but I think Galatasaray did a good job of picking that up in the second half. The first half, that's how they got burned. In the first half, Boye was way upfield.
I thought they were going to park the bus. To be honest with you,
You thought so?
After that first goal, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be the most boring thing." I was about to take it.
No, it was a good match.
Yeah, I was happy. They gave him a run for the money. Mancini, he knows what he's doing.
He's not a dummy. He's not a dummy.
He likes the scarves too.
Oh, he's very fashionable.
Scarf fan.
Very
He's
fashionable.
from Italy.
Now let me ask you. This came down 1-1. They go back to the bridge. Oh wait, no, actually no. I want to rewind it. The goal, the disallowed goal.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Terry.
John Terry holds onto the ball and brings the ball into the middle of the pitch. Drogba is on the sideline with the ball. Terry kind of just...
Let's commend the ball boys on this one. They were on the spot this entire game.
Yeah.
And this is well into it. So I noticed it before this happened. First time the ball goes out, within a second, there's a ball coming out. Mm-hmm. Straight to the person who's got to get it.
I wasn't paying that much of attention to that. Were they doing that for Chelsea as well? Because in South America, particularly in Brazil, there was a lot of controversy about ball boys helping only one team. And there's a couple of corner kicks that ball boys, like the ball went out, the ball boy slammed the ball into the corner spot, and they did a quick corner kick. I wasn't paying attention to this match that closely. Was there an advantage? Was there a home field advantage in that respect?
Paying that much attention to the ball boys
until just now. But it wasn't quick. The ball was quick to Drogba.
They were flying out.
So Terry was complaining to the ref about the call, saying that he thought it should have been Chelsea's ball. I think I couldn't even tell. He just complains a lot anyway. And then he kind of rolled the ball into the middle of the pitch. Drogba throws the other ball in, and it was a Turkish guy that scored, I believe. It was the substitute, I think, even.
Singly?
You can't hold me to it. I don't remember. But he hit...
Screamer.
He hit a ball. He was almost at the end line. He hit a ball around check to the opposite post and in. It was incredible, and the referee disallowed it. And he still ended up giving Terry a yellow card and giving a free kick. But
called the ball back.
And it's like, oh, man.
It was a beaut.
That was a beauty.
I was surprised the crowd didn't blow up there either, because you would... That was definitely one of those. That was... When it happened, because the crowd didn't blow up, I didn't think anything was wrong with it. Because I knew what was going on. I knew where it was, the setting. Mm-hmm. And I didn't hear, that much of a difference than you would, a goalie holding a ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I processed it, when I saw it, I thought the same thing that you just said. I was like, that was insane.
So I saw it at work with no volume. And, it was 2x2 window in the corner of my screen while I'm working. So I saw it, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. But because I'm they're not celebrating, and the ball, that was definitely a goal, and I'm like, what's going on?
It was there was no sound, so it didn't make a difference.
There was no sound. No.
I think everybody was just in disbelief, maybe.
That the referee disallowed it. Maybe they heard the whistle. Maybe the guy played on, there was a whistle, and the guy played on, and everyone else had heard it.
No. Well, it's going to be was it 3 weeks before the next round?
I believe so. I'm traveling. I'm going to be going to Europe, so I looked at the calendar like, all right, am I going to miss matches? I come home on the 11th, and Arsenal plays that day, so that's 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Tuesday past.
Cool.
And today is I don't have my calendar. I don't have my watch on me. I don't know. What's today? 26th? Something like that? So today's the 26th. I'm not sure. I believe that Tuesday will be the first of the second legs.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be. That's what I think is going to be what thins out the top four. I think we were talking about that earlier. Everybody's still in it, with the exception of Liverpool and Man U. I think you can't give up on either. That's the thing. They can't put all their eggs in one basket. No. You can't commit because the way the luck has been, it's.
But you definitely can't commit to something that you're going to be able to be eliminated from. That's too. Can you put all your eggs in that basket? Game. I mean, Chelsea did it. But
that's what I'm saying.
Chelsea did it a few years back.
It's crazy.
And you know what we didn't touch on, and I don't know, maybe if you spare a minute, penny for your thoughts.
I got some time.
The English teams didn't do so great in this first leg of the Champions League. Chelsea drew, Arsenal lost, City lost, United lost. The only league that didn't have a winter break were the English. I mean, is it sour grapes? Even the German guys from Bayern were like, we had a break. We had 3 weeks off. These guys didn't have anything off. And they've been playing. They played 12 games and 4 games in 12 days or something like that during the winter break, during Christmas and New Year's and all that nonsense. Do you think that has an effect?
Absolutely.
I've said this for many years that I feel that the reason why English teams don't. All right, there's a whole lots of stuff, lots of layers. But one of the reasons why the English teams don't perform so well in the Champions League over the last, let's say, 10 years, the English have not done. The Spanish have really dominated. The Germans. Bayern has been in how many finals in the last? 4 of the last 5 or whatever.
They're always around.
Or whatever. 3 of the last 4. So the English have multiple competitions. Other leagues have multiple competitions. Okay, granted. They have no winter break. And they have another thing that's really weird, that's very odd. The FA does not help the Premier League teams when it comes to scheduling. No, they have priority. They put their league ahead of the Champions League. If you look at all the other leagues, they move things around for their clubs that are playing in Champions League. But they give them a break. But you would think that the FA would be more concerned about the finances of English club and more money coming into English football. If there are more English clubs in the Champions League, that means there's more money in the English leagues. Now that's where you've gone wrong, Dave. No? The FA doesn't know anything. Oh. They have no idea what they're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? No, that's what it seems like. It seems like they're completely backwards. Yeah. Wouldn't you want to build the brand even stronger? The reason why everyone loves the Premier League, the brand is the strongest brand in the world. We can argue about the best teams. Spain has a wealth of talent. Top to bottom, has a wealth of talent. But the Premier League is exciting. Well, and that's the other thing, too. These domestic cups that the English, they're very deep teams. Just like the Premier League's deep. Even the Championship team, they're hard. Right. They give you a run for their money. Yeah. Absolutely. They're not sleepers. They're not rolling over like going to a Lecce and beating them 8-1. No, there is no rollovers. Yeah. So I feel like the English teams are they're fighting a little bit with like a weighted vest on, or they have and that's what makes their winning so much sweeter. I think so as well. I think if an English team wins it, I think it's an incredible feat. I don't think it's an easy feat at all. I would say invincible run. It's. Just, I would say. I mean, you look at it right now. the Spanish league, I think after the top three, there's a big gap. I could be wrong.
Big drop.
The Bundesliga, Bayern is running away with it. I mean, they're an incredible team, but they're not being tested. Like a guy like Shaqiri. Everyone's like, oh, Shaqiri's so good. Shaqiri plays before they go to the Champions League. You know what that means? It means they don't like him. They don't think he's that good. Because he's the one playing while the other guys are resting. Chelsea's a pretty deep team. City's a pretty deep team. But you know what? Their main guys don't get that much rest.
No.
Arsenal is not as deep as I would love them to be. Ozil has played every match since he's been here. He's gotten one off.
He needs a break.
He's gotten one off this last weekend. Everyone thought it was because he missed the penalty. No, it's because the guy needed to get his feet up.
But that's the thing. The fans and the media, they demand that because they expect it.
Every week. I want to see the superstars every week.
80 minutes minimum.
Every week.
Everyone should. No substitutions.
Right. Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Starting 11 to finish.
Right. Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday,
I want to
Saturday.
see that guy on my poster, and that guy on my poster, and that guy on my poster, and that guy. And they get it because they bring in the best talent for the most part, but they also deal with the most injuries. That's ridiculous.
Well, I don't know.
Everybody has injuries.
It's exciting. It's a tough league. It's exciting. I mean, that's why we love it. That's why we talk about most of it
every week.
That's why we still keep talking about it every week. But we love all football. We're not. We don't discriminate.
Oh, absolutely. I can watch anything.
Okay, let's do a little house cleaning. I'm going to be away, as I kind of briefly mentioned. I'm going to be away for a week and a half on some travels.
I'm taking a brief audio break.
So we may be experiencing a brief audio break. I don't know. Maybe
smatterings of writers.
Maybe I'll pull in a 15-minute podcast from my hotel room.
Maybe you'll be able to broadcast live from some game you get flown into by some executive you meet at some random bar in some city somewhere.
Wow, there's a lot of randoms there. Yes, perhaps I will be in. Let's see. I'll be in Cardiff.
Ooh.
Swansea.
Ooh.
And Leeds.
Ooh.
And Paris.
Oh, come on.
But PSG's away, and when I'm in Cardiff, Swansea, and Leeds, it's during the week. There's no matches. So
yeah, but you'll be in Paris for Champions League?
No.
During? No.
No. I come home. I get on a plane the 11th, and I come home.
Well, maybe.
So I come home in time to watch Arsenal.
You could put some bets down.
And when am I going to collect them?
When you go back?
I guess in maybe a year.
Yeah, that's the limit.
Is it a limit?
Yeah, it's usually.
It'll force me to go back to Paris.
Exactly. You bring me back some shit.
So if you don't hear us for a couple weeks, we have not forgotten you. We have we're going to have some issues getting together.
And if you miss us, just listen to one of our old podcasts.
They're timeless.
Until you get to sleep.
They're timeless. I listen to us all the time to go to sleep. I get lulled to sleep on my own voice.
I only listen to my voice. I have actually podcasts edited with only my voice.
That's interesting.
No ego.
No ego at all. Guys, you know where to find us. But just in case you don't, you can email us at socceryanks@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter at socceryankdan.
And I'm at socceryankdave. And check out the website. We got some great writers. Great contribution. MLS articles. Some EPL stuff. And if you are a writer and you want to contribute, send us some work. We'll send it to our Soccer Yanks website. We'll send it to our editor.
Me?
And
I'll read it.
And we'll get into some communication. We're always looking for new points of view and opinions, and we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Till next time.
All right. Thank you. Bye.